إن الحمد لله وحده الصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده وبعد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His choicest blessings be upon Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In our session of this Qasawatul Qalb, we are discussing about vanity or ujub or self-conceit. We have discussed about the definition, then it is the synonymous terms like takabbur, or idlal. So we have discussed the difference between them. And now today we are going to discuss about the types of ujub. Types of ujub, and there are two types of ujub, which are both of them are deplorable. One is naturally endowed ujub, and second is acquired ujub. Naturally endowed ujub refers to inbuilt capabilities of a person, like a person is quite handsome or beautiful, rhetorics, ancestral wealth, father or son of a celebrity. So these things are whereby there is no any role of a person that he acquires them naturally. He is born in such an environment or such a family that can easily bring ujub to him. So on the basis of these descriptions, these qualities or characteristics, a person feels something special, and it's quite experienceable. We can experience this thing, that those who are endowed with the ancestral wealth or with the natural capabilities, so it is easier for them to be the victim of ujub. So this is, we can say simply, naturally endowed ujub. And then there is acquired ujub. And this acquired ujub is, a person is born in a simple family and there are no any significant capabilities with him, but still a person tries his best to achieve these qualities. Then after making a lot of efforts, a person accumulates a lot of wealth, a person develops many skills, or a person is through the proper training. So and then this skill development appears, and a person feels that he is now special than others. And this also, this observable phenomena as well. We can see many people who, out of their efforts, out of their incessant and unabated efforts, they acquired certain skills and also a position in the society. So it is easier for them to be the victim of ujub. Then again, another classification of ujub is in terms of whether a person acquires it naturally or he makes efforts for this. Then there is another classification of ujub, that is ujub in terms of deen and ujub in terms of dunya. Having this feeling of self-conceit in terms of dunya. So all the things of dunya which can make a person to have this feeling that he is special than others, or he alone deserves this specific characteristic. So it is in terms of dunya. And there is also ujub fi deen, and that's more dangerous than the ujub of dunya, because when a person feels that he is special and then he deflates others, he downplays others, but at least at some point of time he may be having this feeling that he is thinking himself to be something important. But in terms of deen, when a person has this feeling that he is better than others, when a person has this feeling that he is performing the ibadah, and the ibadah becomes a source of self-conceit, that's disastrous and that's dangerous for a person. And that is what we call as ijabul mar'i bi nafsihi. When a person is suffering through this self-conceit, and he feels that now he's better than others. And in this context, many scholars have mentioned that a sinful person is better than this person who is suffering through this self-conceit. Because by the end of the day, when a person commits a sin, he has this regretfulness in the heart that he did something wrong. He performed something wrong which he was prohibited. But on the other hand, the man who is suffering through the ujub, he will not be blessed with the tawbah, because he feels that he's doing better than others, he's better than others. And it is the ujub that destroyed the shaitan. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked him, Ma manaka an tasjuda li Adam, Allah says in the Quran, O Iblis, what stopped you, what prevented you to prostrate before Adam, peace be upon him? And he said, Ana khayrum minhu. He said, I am better than him. So this feeling of betterment than others, that I am better than others. And then for ujub, you don't need anyone else. You have this, we can say, self-centered feeling. The self-centered feeling that I am better than others. But when you compare with others, and there is one specific one, a person compares himself or herself with other person, then it becomes takabbur. That's one of the difference between ujub and takabbur. So this is the thing which destroys a person. So ujub fi dunya, that a person feels the self-conceit about the things of this dunya. And then ujub fi deen means a person feels having the feeling of self-conceit about the acts of ibadah, and he feels that he is better than others. As far as ujub is concerned, it has the individual and collective impact. Ujub not only hardens the individual heart, rather it impacts the collective consciousness. We have one individual consciousness, individual identity. Then we also have the collective or social consciousness. Carl Jung is considered to be the expert on the subject, on this particular field of psychology, that is social collective consciousness. If you see Sigmund Freud, he focused upon the individual consciousness. But Carl Jung, he was all against the theories and themes of Sigmund Freud. He was contemporary of him, and even more intelligent than Sigmund Freud. But Freud got too much popularity for some unknown reasons. But Carl Jung, but known to the academicians, but not as popular as that of the Sigmund Freud. So he gave the concept of social consciousness, collective consciousness. And this ujub, as it is found at the individual level, so it is also found at the national level. It is also found at the social and collective level. At the individual level, we have many examples in the Quran. Qarun, and the tragic end of Qarun, and loss of all his vanity. The Quran clearly mentions about him. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with a lot of wealth. Instead of helping out others, when he forgot his purpose of life, that he is Ameen, whatever we are blessed with, whatever we possess now, tangible or intangible capabilities, all the blessings and bounties of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is all an amanah with us, a trust with us. And the exam, the test is only to see our approach to the amanah. How do we spend it? Our knowledge, our akhlaq, our generosity, our feeling good for others, taking care of others, with the words, with the actions, with every possible means. It's all amanah. Whatever we possess here in this dunya, it's amanah with us. But those who are unaware of the purpose of life, one of the, we can say, the impact of this dunya is that it makes a person to forget about the purpose of life. The attractions and distractions of dunya makes a person to feel that as if he's supposed to be born forever and ever. He's supposed to stay here on this planet forever and ever, which is one of the deception. فَلَا تَغُرَنَّكُمْ بِاللَّهِ الْغُرُورِ. So let not the deception deceive you of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That happened with the Qarun. Allah blessed him with a lot of wealth. And the full description is given in the Quran. However, when he did not use it the way it was supposed to be used, and he forgot his purpose of life, and he thought that his wealth will remain with him forever and ever, and all his vanity, and whenever he would come out of his home with full pomp and show, with full grandeur, with all show off, having the feeling that he's better than others. But by the end of the day, what happened to him? All his vanity vanished. All his wealth vanished into thin air. Sayyidina Luqman rahimahullah ta'ala, he gave nasiha to his son in Surah Luqman. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. My son, when you walk on earth, you must achieve humbleness. My son, when you walk on earth, walk on planet, وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا. Don't walk on it out of self-conceit, out of vanity. إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. This feeling that I'm better than others, this feeling that I'm more powerful than others. You cannot achieve the heights of the mountains, the mighty and lofty, strongest mountains. You cannot achieve the heights of it. وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ. You cannot pierce the earth, nor can achieve the heights of the mountains. Your position is defined, well defined by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let not this vanity and ujub or self-conceit sway you away. And you are flown with this self-concocted feeling of being better than others. وَلَا تَمْشِ فِي الْأَرْضِ مَرَحًا إِنَّكَ لَن تَخْرِقَ الْأَرْضَ وَلَن تَبْلُغَ الْجِبَالَ طُولًا. So this ujub is found at the individual levels. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. This is one of the disastrous things for the Iman. We will discuss after a short while what the scholars have to say about it. Our muhaddithin, our fuqaha, what they mentioned, that this is one of the deadliest disease of the heart. Ujub, you will never find that the man with the ujub, man with the vainglory, with the self-conceit, having the softness in the heart, is deadly impossible. Because he is always in his own, living his, what we call, in fool's paradise, thinking himself to be special, to be better than others, while as his position in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so much deflated, and he thinks himself to be of immense importance. Many a people which are now unknown to the people but known to the heavens. Many a people which are known to the people but unknown to the heavens. All depends upon the condition of the heart. If the condition of the heart is good, if a person tries his best or her best to cleanse the heart, to purge the heart, to achieve the purgation of the heart, and to clean it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and study it with all the positive all the positive characteristics, then that heart is changed and turns into sound heart, qalbun salim. Time and again we discuss this, and we have to discuss this until the last rattle of our breath, reminding ourselves, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. A day is going to come. We all are moving towards. We don't stay in dunya. We are moving through the dunya. We are traveling through the dunya. We are not staying at dunya. We think that we stay here. Where do you stay? I stay at this place, so and so place. It's a transit actually. Then actually we are all moving. All 7.8 billion people are moving towards our next station. And that is the qabr. And then qabr, then we have to move still forward. That is barzakh. After crossing the barzakh, Then is Alamul Qiyamah. And then that day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. That is the day when neither the wealth nor the children will benefit a person. These are the two things which restrict the activities of a person. All through the life, we focus upon wealth and the children. And we forget about the one who blessed us with these things. That's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. يَوْمَ لَا يَنْفَعُ مَالٌ وَلَا بَنُونَ. The day when neither the wealth nor the children benefit a person. إِلَّا, except, was going to benefit? إِلَّا مَنْ أَتَى اللَّهَ بِقَلْبٍ سَلِيمٍ. Except the one whom Allah blessed with the sound heart, the soft heart. There's no hardening of the heart. And when a person is living with this vanity or ujub, he's destroying his heart. He should not think that his heart will be now softened. Not at all. Softening of the heart, it is important that we feel always that I am nothing. And this feeling of nothingness is everything in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this feeling of all our weaknesses, shortcomings, lacuna, foibles and flaws, this is our existence. And this is our reality. The moment we forget about it, we are spoiling the heart. The moment we begin to feel that and shaitan brings everything in front of us. We should not undermine the efforts of shaitan. He brings all the good things which by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala we were able to do, we were able to perform. He brings all of it in front of us, make us to feel that you see how much good you are. You see, and then he brings all the flaws, foibles, lacuna, shortcomings of others in front of us, to make us feel that now, to make us compare ourselves with others. Then we say, oh, I'm good. So Adam alayhi salam, when he committed wrong, he didn't justify, rather he confessed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with more ibadah, with more closeness. So therefore, this ujub, this is, as I said, is one of the disastrous disease of the heart. And it has impact upon the individual consciousness, as well as it has impact upon the collective consciousness. When this ujub is found at the social level or national level or the what you call the collective level, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala criticizes the Jews upon their vanity of being chosen and dearest people to God. They have this feeling that they are special people. Though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly mentions in the Quran that all your races, nationalities, colors, countenances, complexions, difference in languages, your nationalities, ethnicities, is all just a means of recognition and nothing else. One single word encompasses this whole phenomena, that is لِتَعَارَفُوا يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسُ إِنَّا خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن ذَكَرٍ وَأُنثَىٰ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. So all these difference in ethnicities, nationalities, languages, colors, castes, what's the underlying philosophy? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لِتَعَارَفُوا, one single word encompass the whole spectrum, so that you may recognize one another. But the only criterion for being the chosen one of God or the rejected one of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. Indeed, the most honored amongst you in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who is most pious amongst you. Piety, righteousness and taqwa is the criteria. But the Jews, they are living under what you call, they are living in the fool's paradise with this feeling that they are chosen people of God. So this is ujub, that they are special than others. So this ujub is at what we call at the collective level. And The signs of ujub, when a person develops the ujub in his heart. So what are the signs and impact of ujub upon an individual? First of all, whenever a person starts developing this self-conceit, it leads to kibr, it leads to arrogance. Hafiz ibn al-Jawzi rahimahullah ta'ala, Abdurrahman ibn al-Jawzi rahimahullah ta'ala, one of the famous muhaddis and faqih, he said, "I'lam anna min asbab al-kibri al-ujbu." You must know that of the means of developing arrogance is ujub, is self-conceit. فَإِنَّ مَنْ أَعْجَبَ بِالشَّيْءِ تَكَبَّرَ بِهِ. Because when a person is having these pleasant feelings, one is pleasant feeling, second is self-conceit. These are two different things. When we perform the good deed, we have this pleasant feeling within us, and that's not wrong. But if it is turned into that I am now special, and if a person feels that now he is closer to Allah than others because of this thing, and then he starts deflating others, then it is ujub. When a person then compares himself with others specifically, then it is kibr. We can say the breeding ground for the arrogance is ujub, or the first step towards arrogance is ujub, is self-conceit. So arrogance is subservient to ujub. Ujub is the root cause. This self-conceit is the root cause which triggers the arrogance, which triggers and develops the kibr in a person. So this is one of the signs. And Imam Haris al-Muhasibi rahimahullah ta'ala, I often quote him. Imam Haris al-Muhasibi rahimahullah, one of the famous muhaddis, he said, "Inna awwala badwil kibri al-ujubu." The beginning of arrogance starts with the ujub. فَمِنَ الْأُجْبِ يَكُونَ أَكْثَرُ الْكِبْرِ. Most of arrogance sprouts from ujub. Most of the arrogance emanates from ujub, from this vanity or self-conceit. وَلَا يَكَادُ الْمُعْجِبْ أَنْ يَنْجُوَ مِنَ الْكِبْرِ. It is quite difficult that the one who is suffering through the ujub will be free of kibr. Because when a person has this feeling, self-centered feeling, then its advanced form is that now he compares others with himself. Firstly, he has the self-centered feeling, and then the self-centered feeling, it becomes transitive. Before it is intransitive, when it is transitive, it becomes arrogance. And another impact of ujub is that any person who is struck with this disease, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from all forms of ujub and make us among his obedient, humble and mutawadi servants. Amin ya Rab. And as far as this vanity is concerned, vainglory is concerned, a kind of narcissism we can say is concerned, it breeds a lot of bad characteristics in a person. It gives rise to bad morals. And one of the obnoxious, deplorable, reprehensible bad manner is when a person starts deflating others. And another important impact of, or we can say recognizable impact of ujub is that يَدْعُو إِلَى إِهْمَالِ الذُّنُوبِ وَنِسْيَانِهَا. It makes a person to forget about his own sinful activities. Therefore, he is not blessed with a tawbah, as he is reeling under the false impression of being good, which makes him to ignore and neglect all his bad qualities. So he doesn't focus upon his bad manners, his bad qualities, bad characteristics. As we are a blend of two things. We have the good qualities, we have the bad qualities. What we are required to do, we need to strengthen our good qualities, and we have to make more efforts, rather a lot of efforts, to control our bad ethics, bad akhlaq. It needs our efforts. It won't happen of its own. Just only dua is very important, supplications are important, but it's not only dua that will help us. or that will be sufficient. Rather, we have to make efforts for this. So it makes a person to forget about all his disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Haris al-Muhasibi, rahimahullah, al-Muhaddis al-Kabir, the great Muhaddis Haris al-Muhasibi, rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, يَجْمَعُ الْأُجْبُ خِسَالًا شَتَّى. This ujub, the self-conceit, comprises of many bad things. First, يُعْمِي عَلَيْهِ كَثِيرٌ مِّن ذُنُوبِهِ. A person turns blind eye to all his sins. Most of his sins, they are now negligent. They are now unobservable to him. He cannot feel them anymore. He cannot think about them anymore. وَيَنْسَى مِمَّا لَمْ يَعُمَّ عَلَيْهِ مِنْهَا أَكْثَرُهَا. And he forgets about most of his recurrent disobediences, which he performs every now and then. Or whenever, or if at any point of time he thinks about it, كَانَ لَهَا مُسْتَسْخِرًا. He deflates it. He doesn't feel that he has done something wrong, something grave. On the other hand, the true believer, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-mu'min al-mukhlis, the true sincere believer, whenever he commits any sin, however small it is, he feels a discomfort in the heart. The currents of restlessness move from top to toe. He feels this remorsefulness in the heart. He will not find any taste with any work, with any job, unless and until he makes the tawbah. That's a sign of a sincere servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Commission of sin, it is quite expected thing from us. But what's more important, once we commit the sin, once we perform any disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it should send the waves of regretfulness, restlessness into our heart. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one of the hadith says, the gist of the hadith is, Prophet said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when the believer commits a sin, he feels as if the whole mountain is upon his shoulders. He feels a heaviness as if he's under the mountain. On the other hand, a fasiq, the disobedient servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he commits any sin, when he performs any disobedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he doesn't have any regretfulness, any ill feeling in the heart. Rather, as if a fly came and he just threw it away, drew it away, as if he drew it away and nothing else. Therefore, whenever he thinks about any particular sin he committed, كَانَ لَهُ مُسْتَسْخِرًا, he finds it's not a big job. He will deflate it. وَتُعْمِي عَلَيْهِ أَخْطَاؤُهُ. All his flaws. He'll be blinded to all his flaws. He cannot see his flaws. He cannot recognize his lacuna. And then another impact of the ujub, evil impact of the ujub, is that يَجْعَلُ الْعَبْدَ يَسْتَعْذِمُ أَعْمَالَهُ. Whatever good deed a person performs, in terms of dunya, in terms of deen, he glorifies it. He thinks it to be great. All his disobediences, however small it seems to be. And then a kind of وَيَمُنُّ عَلَى اللَّهِ بِفِعْلِهَا, a kind of expressing favor against Allah that he did it. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Hujurat, قَالَتِ الْأَعْرَابُ آمَنَّا. A group of Bedouins came and they said, we have believed, we accepted Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also says, يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا. They express their favor that they have embraced Islam. You say, بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ أَنْ هَدَاكُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala expresses favor upon you that He guided you to the Islam. He opened your hearts to Islam. There is no role of yours. Whatever good we do is wallahi summa wallahi. There is no any role of ours. It's all the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that facilitates that good deed for us. Otherwise, we can see many people around us, they're not blessed with such things.